This is Lake Malawi, one of the most diverse bodies of freshwater in the world, filled with dense vegetation, cool rock formations, underwater trees, as well as a ton of different fish species, each with their own unique abilities, colors, and patterns. And for the last 15 seconds, I've been lying to you because this is sewage water, and this is an aquarium I built entirely in my room. Now, ever since I was a tiny human, I've always been fascinated by tiny creatures, from 10 years ago when I got my dog Bailey, to a couple of months ago when I hatched this army of ducks. But after getting a tiny turtle I named Wally, I started exploring the world of underwater creatures, and since I don't have anywhere near me where I can see these creatures in person, I decided to build my own personal Lake Malawi entirely in my bedroom, making sure to stock it with 5 different species of fish, 5 different colored shrimp, and a ton of plants to make it as diverse as possible. Now, the first step of building a fish tank is obviously finding a tank to build it in, and I found this one completely for free on Facebook Marketplace. And that's because the seller said it actually leaks water and it needs to be resealed. But after taking a look at the seals for myself, they actually seem to be in pretty good condition. It actually looks like somebody already tried to reseal it, and it seems like they did a pretty good job. So instead of taking the time to scrape it and re-caulk it myself, I'm just gonna fill it up with water and see what happens.
Tell them to bring out the whole ocean. Tell them to bring out the whole ocean.
Alright, I just filled up the tank with water, and it doesn't look like it's leaking anywhere other than like the condensation on the sides here. But yeah, it seems like it's completely fine. I don't know why someone would just give away a tank like this for free if it's not actually leaking. But it's only been a couple of minutes, so I'm gonna let it sit here for a few more hours while I go and pick up some supplies for the tank. Hey, what the dog doing? You guys remember that meme? What the dog doing? And the car won't start. Alright, what's going on under here? We got the engine. The engine's still there. Where is the transmission? Where could that have possibly gone? Where's the... You wouldn't happen to know where my transmission is, would you? Excuse me, ma'am. Sorry to interrupt. Where's my transmission? Alright, I know one of you two know, huh? Where'd you put it? Where'd it go? No, don't try to walk away now. No, get back here! Get back here! And after interrogating the ducks, I eventually found my transmission and I picked up these supplies for the tank. And when I got back home, the tank hadn't leaked any water at all, so I made sure to do my signature duck test to make sure it could hold something. And then ran it back one more time just to make sure. Then I could empty out the rest of the water and bring it inside, which is where I ran into my next issue, and that's that there's no room in my room for the tank, so I'm gonna take apart my old guillotine and turn it into a table. And after cutting, drilling, measuring, cutting some more, and then snapping the table in half, it was finally ready. And now I just had to make sure it was sturdy enough to support the weight. And then I could bring in the tank and start working on the layout. So I added in a piece of dragon rock on the left and some spider wood on the right. And this rock cost me $50. Why? But I also threw in this wood cave I had laying around and then took everything out so I could add in the #1 aquarium soil. And after sprinkling some black sand on top, I could start filling it with water. Whoa, settle down, settle down. Now, to be honest, I didn't really like how this layout turned out, and besides the floating log, the whole left side of the tank really just didn't look good at all. So I decided to pull out my overpriced rock and split it into 2 so I could use that to hold down the spiderwood and then just leave the cave on its own. And in my opinion, this turned out to look a lot better. And you could make your aquarium look a lot better with the sponsor of today's video, Hoto Tools. Now, they sent me out their cordless spin scrubber, which comes with 7 magnetic heads to help you reach any surface you need to clean, which I found pretty useful because I could use the big head to clean all the aquarium glass and then switch to a smaller head to clean the algae off of my aquarium filters. But it doesn't just work on aquariums. Do you also have ducks that always make a mess on your windows? Well, I've also been using it to clean up that. But you could also use it to do your dishes, clean your countertops, even your car wheels, which is great for me because I gotta keep them looking fresh. Now, unlike a normal scrubber, this doesn't just vibrate, it fully spins 360 degrees, and no matter how hard you push, it just keeps on spinning. And that spinning has 2 adjustable speeds, a slower one for more delicate things like when my dog gets dirty, and a faster one for tough grime like when my ducks get dirty. And because of the IPX7 waterproof body, you can use it anywhere. in the shower, taking a bath, water torturing someone, but I mostly just use it for my tanks. And with the long runtime built-in battery, all you need to do is plug it in and charge it. It really does just make cleaning a lot easier and a lot less stressful on your wrist. But now back to the video. And now it was time to add in the plants to give the tiny shrimp and smaller fish places to hide. And I made sure to only bury them in the places that I had put down the aquarium soil. After adding in all the plants, this place really started to look like a real lake. There was a ton of tiny cracks, crevices, and plants for the tiny fish and shrimp to hide in to make them feel safe. So now it was time to add them in. And soon after adding them in, relationships were already forming. This Japan blue guppy and this shrimp were sharing a meal together. These two balloon mollies were already hanging out and gossiping about how the guppy was cheating on his partner with a shrimp. And then the guppy and his wife got into an argument and he told her not to worry and they were just friends. But I don't think she believed him. And the blue zebra angel was looking as clueless as ever. The lemon brittlenose pleco was doing what he does best, sucking. He'll spend all day suctioned to the glass, slurping up any algae he finds, sometimes stopping to nap on the floor or in logs, but then getting straight back to work. He really is the throat goat. But my favorite addition has to be this red tiger barb with these zebra stripes and red eyes, which just looks so cool. And I ended up getting 5 other tiger barb friends for him to prevent aggression towards the other fish in the tank. And I almost forgot to mention the cardinal tetras that have this neon blue line running down their entire body. They look like a mini glow stick. Now speaking of glow sticks, this is a glowfish tetra. And under blue light, this guy literally shines. He's the only fish in the tank that's actually easier to find at night because of the way his body reflects the light. And while the shrimp were munching on the plants and finding their own little spots to hide in, it was time to feed the fish. Also, if you enjoyed this video and you want to see more like it, why don't you hit that subscribe button? And once again, thanks again to Hoto Tools for sponsoring this video. If you're tired of the hassle that comes with cleaning, check out the Hoto wand using my discount link in the video description. The spin scrubber has a 4.5-star rating on Amazon, but they don't only have scrubbers, they have tools for all around the house like vacuums, leaf blowers, and even air pumps for your car so you can make it to the pet store without any troubles.